I have a fun project for you today. It's fabric banners. They are bright and beautiful and very easy to make. They brighten any room. They're great for parties, home decor, or just any space that needs a little color. Amanda Herring of the Quilted Fish designed these fabric banners, and she's here with me today to show how to make them and add embellishments. So thanks, Amanda, for coming, and tell me about the inspiration for your new line.
Well, when I was drawing this line, my last grandmother passed away, and my grandmother was a seamstress, and so a lot of my sewing skills came from her. And she had amazing flower gardens, and I would love to walk through her flower gardens. She had roses and dahlias and gladiolas, which were my favorite. So the colors are really vintagey, kind of have that retro feel.
This pink and the blues and the reds.
Yeah, just really think of her when I see it. But it's also about a celebration, celebrating life, celebrating just how fabulous things are. And so that's why there's the pennant panel, and that's why it's delighted.
And it is bright and beautiful. So tell me, how did you make these pennants? How does this work?
Okay, so this is how it comes right off the bolt. And there's a few things you can do. You can cut it apart just like this and roll your edges under, or leave them raw, or you can sew two pieces together and turn them inside out so you've got a finished edge. Or what I did was I just took my panel to my quilter and I had her just quilt it for me. So we've got a backing, and then the batting in the middle, and then the panel on top. And then I just took a rotary cutter. In this case, I used a pinked one, so I had a cute little edge on it, and that's what this is here. And I cut out right on the edge here so I didn't have any white. But you could cut right down the middle of the white strip and just leave yourself a cute little white border if you wanted to too.
So this is kind of what it looks like.
So that's all cut. And then I actually did go through on the edges and just did a quick seam around to stop any fraying. But especially with the pinked, I don't think you need to worry about that. But you can also cut it with a straight edge if you'd prefer. Or if you don't have a pinking blade and don't want to go get one. Now the whole premise of this project is that it's supposed to be easy and fun and delightful, and just something, there are no rules. This is just your diving board to be creative, and I'm just going to show you kind of some of the things that I did
You give
for
us
ideas
a great
for you.
base to start.
All right, so this first one here, I just took a plain little pennant like that. Not that it's plain, I mean you could leave this just like that and it's darling. And I cut myself a 4 inches by the width of fabric piece, sewed the ends together, and then I folded it so that my fold was on the outside, my raw edge on the inside, and I did a gathering stitch and ended up with this. Pulled it tight. Then you can fold it in half, do a little seam right here just through the middle, and then when you open it up you have a double layer.
Isn't that clever?
Just like this.
Love
So you can see
that.
on this one where the seam is. And then I just stuck it on and used my button to hold it in place.
Kind of hide the raw edge in your gathering.
Yes, and
Great idea.
these buttons, just like all of the embellishments that I've used here, are all from the Riley Blake Sew Together collection. And that's one of the things I really love about designing for Riley Blake, is they make so many fun things to go with the fabrics that, I mean, I just couldn't help myself. I had to go crazy.
Oh, very cute. Well, tell me how you made this.
Okay, so
next
the
one.
second one, I really wanted this happy to be kind of a focal point, so I took some ribbon.
Again, I love the vintage pink.
Isn't that fun? I put a couple of the crocheted flowers from the Riley Blake crochet flowers, and then I made these ribbons that are kind of, I wanted them to look a little like award ribbons. I wanted them to hang straight down rather than have an outward dimension, so I just took my ribbon and I folded it like this. And then for your back piece, I just twist it so that the design shows on the front. Just kind of maneuvered it to where I liked it, and I sewed it down underneath. And then I did the same thing. Same thing there. And then after I did that, I just, you can see on the back here, I left the green one. I just clipped off the bulk. So you can just clip this off after, and then nobody has to see that little fold, or it just comes out really nice. And I love the way it hangs down and looks,
It looks like you did the ribbon
Same
the same
thing.
way there.
Same thing on this one. I just took the rickrack around the outside, And I find when you're sewing on the rickrack, rather than trying to turn all your corners here and make them look perfect, I thought that was a little too complicated. So I just sewed a strip and then cut it, sewed it here and then cut it, and then sewed it here and then cut it. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not going to put it in the washing machine. It just, you know, do it simple, make it easy. And then I just, you know, on the raw edges, I fray checked a little bit. And then added the crocheted flowers with a little pearl button in the middle. And I took a little bit of ribbon and just folded it to make a leaf. And I did that with both the regular ribbon and with the elastic ribbon. So you can see how that kind of works.
Looks great.
I'm going to just show you this. I again wanted the ribbon to hang straight down, so I did I think these are called a half hitch, but I'm not a Boy Scout, so I don't really know for sure. But I just took the 2 pieces of ribbon, put it on, pulled it through, and then they hang down. And I really wanted I wanted it to be a downward thing. But in this one I used the elastic ribbon and the rickrack. So you can put in all kinds of different embellishments into this too. This little panel is super easy. Pennant. I just took the pennant, sewed the rickrack on top, same thing, just cut it off on the edges, added a little button, and then I took a little 1-inch piece of fabric, sewed a running stitch on it, gathered it.
And you left the raw edge up top.
I did. I love the raw edges. I love a little bit of fray and just sewed that down on there. So really easy. Great way to use some of your scraps. This one, this is the 1-minute bunting. Just add a little bit of pom-pom fringe. And I think it'd be really cute too to do it with the great big pom-poms, which I didn't, but I'd love to. This also comes in the panel, and I just used straight edge scissors to cut that out. I'm going to steal from over here. And I just did the same thing, gathered a big circle and sewed it on the back. Super easy. And then I just sewed it on top of a little ribbon here.
And what's great is the rest of your fabric that you can see here is it all
Coordinates.
mix and matches. Very cute.
Okay, so this one right here.
That for you.
Let me grab the pennant. I just took a little piece of ribbon, did a running stitch in it, and then sewed it down here just on this little edge. And then I took a piece of fabric on each side and a little bit of a little bit of batting. Just put that in the middle, and I sewed a little leaf and sewed it on.
And again, love the raw edge.
Yes, I love that too. So easy. Okay, and then we're getting down to it. This one, I just took a little bit of the rickrack, sewed it across the top, took some of this fabulous crocheted lace that I love, did a couple layers of that, and then I've added a little bit of rickrack on top. And then you're going to see there's a little bit of a trend here. I put a piece of fabric, did a running stitch, gathered it, sewed it around the outside here to make a little cute little flower. And then just
so simple.
And on this one, you're going to want to wait until you sew all of your pennants or buntings together, and then add this onto the top.
So you're not sewing.
So you're not sewing right. Yep, exactly. Okay, this one, I took a little bit of crocheted lace and a little bit of ribbon, and I sewed it. As I sewed it, I kind of made little loops, and then I would just sew across the bottom here. And then once I had it all sewed, I went and clipped all my loops. And then same thing with the lace. Did the lace first and then the ribbon, as you can see by the layers here. But you could layer any kind of fun, you could even do scraps of fabric underneath there. It'd be really cute.
You dive into your scraps.
This one is done the same way as this right here, except for I clipped into these edges to give it a little bit of a feathery, flowery feel.
Again, love the raw edge.
And this one, there are, as we all know, oodles of flower tutorials online. So I just found one, made a cute little flower that has 5 petals.
And so they're little sections sewed together. Very cute.
Sewed that on, easy. And then the last one, I just took, I have a collection of little doilies. I love them, but I never know what to do with them. So I
Yes.
took this one, or I took this one rather, cut it in half and sewed one half there and the other half there, just to give it just a little something extra sticking up over the top. And then to finish it all off, I took the crocheted lace and sewed it across the top. Or some of them I went over, some of them I went under. And now it is ready to hang for our celebration. A delightful
Adorable.
celebration.
Absolutely. I did want to show you mine.
Oh,
Before I got to see yours, this is mine. Now mine is, after looking at yours, very plain, but it's still so cute. All I used was the crocheted lace, and then I used some of the little medallions from the panel. But look how simple and easy. But now after seeing yours, I think I'm going to go home and embellish a little more.
well, this is the great thing about this project. You can do it as simple or as difficult as you want. It's really a very beginner project. Anybody can pick this up and do it. And I think it works for a wide variety of ages and personalities.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Amanda. And wouldn't you love to have this at your next party or just around the house? It just makes me happy to look at it.